Good morning, student. Am I audible? Sorry for just delay because I was on meeting. That's why we start 5 minute late lab sessions. Again, I just verify EC2 class and the C batch student. And now my screen is visible. HTML tag presentation slide. Thank you, student, for your feedback. So let's we quickly go for the last lecture or last lab session revision, and then we move to our current today's topic. So now in the last lab session, we start the tag B. That is the meaning of the font that we represent as a bold. Then we move to next tag, that is a I for the italic. Then after next tag, U for underline. Then after the next tag, that is P for paragraph. And then after the next tag, that is for the BR, break the line. So these are the tag that we see for the text formatting tag. Okay, like you have to represent the font as bold, italic, underline, paragraph, or break the line. At that time, you can use this type of the tag. Please do not write your name and enrollment number in chat box for the attendance purpose. If you have any query, then and then you put a message in chat box. Then after we see the next tag, that is the font first tag. Now in a font tag where you have to apply a different attribute like a font size, so that is 1 to 7, then font face, that is represent a font style, then font color, so that is red, green, blue, as per your requirement. You can set font color also. Then after we go for hexadecimal representations, okay, where we go for a different attribute, adding of the 6 alphabet combinations. Like you can represent A to 9 digit as well as the A to F alphabet. And that is the combination of red, green, and blue. Then after we see the tag, that is a background color. We also set associate with a body tag, and that is the tag. It's a BG color. Then we see the link tag where you have to redirect one web page to another web page, okay, where you have to provide it a source of that web page, and meaning of the href, that is a hypertext reference. Then after next, that is regarding link tag where you have to redirect, that is the example same. And we see the tag that is the image. It means how we insert the image also. So where you have to provide it a source src, the source address of the image. It means you have to provide it image name with that extension. So that is the revisions regarding the last lab sessions. So let's we continue with image tag, and then we also see that a different attribute. My screen is visible. Browser with a notepad file. Okay, we start with image take, image src. Then you have to write down the image name. So first of all, you are aware about your image where it will be located. Now you can see I have added like a GTU logo 1 and my HTML file. Both are available in a same locations. Then I have to directly write down that image name with that extension, that is the PNG. And for example, if file it's available on another locations, then you have to provided that entire path. But file it's available in the same location, you can directly write down that name with extension. So let's I have take GTU logo 1.png. Now you can see the output GTU logo file, it will be added. So we go for that attribute. It means you have to also resize your image as per your requirement. Like I have to change that width and height. So we have a two attribute. So these are the attribute that we associate with a image tag. Here you can see the first that is a width. So now in a width we have an input from two possible. One you can see the pixel and another that you can see the percentage. So you have to apply a width input either pixel or either percentage. And same way do you go for the height. Again a height input it's represented to the pixel or either percentage. We go for that both attribute. Now you can see the image that is a too small. I have applied like a width is equal to 100 as well as the height equal to 100, and that is the input for the pixel. Like I have to check for 200 and here for 200 also. You can see again size it will be a increase. Like I have set height equal to 150 and also increase the width. That you can see it's now look like actual logo of a GTU based on a requirement where you can set a width as well as the height. And now you can see here I have applied the input on pixel. You also apply the input on a percentage as per your requirement also. Like we check for percentage, for example apply like 10%, again 10%. Now you can see the size that is a small. So that is the method where you can resize your image as per the requirement. Now you also insert multiple image as per your requirement. Like I have added another file. So before that I have to download that file also. Pankaj, off your video. Now next like I have to add that MU logo. First of all I have to check that properties. So now you can see it's a PNG file. So we go for that mu.png and refresh it. You can see another image it will be added. So that is the way where you can add a multiple image in a browser as per your requirement. We go for the next attribute. Now next attribute, that is the border. You also set the border for the image surround. Also we called outside the image, where we represent the border also, and that is the input where you have to take into the pixel. Again I repeat, you also create the border surrounding the image, or we called outside the image, and that is the input where you have to take into the pixel. So we check for that. Like in a GTU logo, I have applied border is equal to 10. Now you can see the output, 10 thickness a border it will be created, and that is the default black color border it will be represent. Again I repeat, you can see the output, it's a 10 thickness pixel black side border, it's a represent. We also like apply in mu logo, and that's why we apply like 5 pixel. Now you can easily compare the both border thickness, where you can see in a mu logo I have applied a 5 thickness 5 pixel, and here you can see in GTU I have applied like a 10 thickness border. So that is the way where you also apply the border as per your requirement. It is the represent as a default black color. So now any query in border tag. So we move to another tag also. Sorry, another that attribute. There's a question, sir. One time, repeat the border tag. Okay. So now in a border tag, you have to take an input from pixel. Needs a represent surround the image. It means outside the image, it's a represent the border. So that's why you have to like write down a border is equal to, like I have write down 10. That means 10 pixel thickness. It's a created the border, and default color that is the black. So now you can see the output in GTU logo, where you can see a 10 thickness a border it will be a created. And now you also compare with like mu logo, where I have applied a 5. You can see it's a 5 thickness border surrounding created. So that is the attribute that we called a border, where you get input as a pixel. Now next attribute, that is edge space. Now the meaning of edge space, that is a horizontal. The edge, that is the represent where you can put a space from horizontal around the image. It means it start from the left hand side to where horizontally you can put the space also. So that we call a edge space. We check for that. Edge space equal to, like I have said, a 50. Like I also remove. Now you can see once I have refreshed, after the text and image, it put a space between a 50 pixel. So we refresh it. Now you can see it's a shifted. So that is the gap that we called a edge space. You can see that is the difference, and that is the edge space. So here right now I have applied a 50 pixel. For example, like I have said 100 pixel, so that like we check output. Now it's again 50 pixel shifted. So here you can see now the total space that is the 100, and that we called a concept of H space. Here right now 100 pixel, that is for the previously a 50 pixel. Now any query in H space. Now the next attribute that is regarding the V space. Now the meaning of V, so that is put a vertical space around the image. So now where it's a put a vertical, that means the topmost as well as the bottom, both where it put your vertical space. So let's we go for that output, and again that input you have to take into the pixel, and meaning of the V that we called a vertical space around the image. Like we initially go for 50 pixel. Now you can see it's a shifted the space. So that is the space that we called a V space, vertical space. Let's we go for 100 pixel. Now you can see again it's a shifted. So that is the difference you called a V space. So if you put a left hand side to that we called a horizontal space and concept of H space, and if you put a vertical, so that we called a V, sorry, here H for horizontal and here a V for the vertical. So that is two concept, H space is as well as V space, and that is the input where you take into the pixel. Now the next attribute that is the align. Now in align you have a 5 input: top, middle, bottom, right, left. Now align the image in relation to a text. It means with relation to a text, it will be a shifted the align. So let's we take an example for a top, middle and bottom. So in this you see the output, the image it will be a stable, and with respect to image the text that is the shifted. So that we called align top. Then like a middle, so it's represent into the middle part, and bottom, so that is represent at the end. So let's we go for that example. Now I am write down the align is equal to top. Now you can see the image it will be a stable, but the text it will be a change. It's a represent to a top most. So that is the meaning of the align that we called a top. Now next that we have a middle. In a middle, let's we check for that output. Now you can see the image it will be a stable, and text that is represent into the middle part. So that we call align middle with respect to a image. Now next align, that is bottom, where you can see the output, it's represent as a bottom. So this three align, it's a top, middle and bottom, where image it will be a stable, and that respect to text it will be a change, either top, either middle, or either bottom. Now next to input, that is a right and left. So in this your image it will be a shifted right hand side as well as the left hand side. So let's we check for that input. So now you can see the image it will be a shifted right hand side, so that we called align right. Same way to, like, if you shift image to a left hand side, so where you can write down align is equal to a left. You can see it's a represent align is equal to a left hand side. So that is the method where you can easily see the output, align method. And these are the five input for the align: top, middle and bottom, where image is a fix and text it will be a change, and last two align right and left, where image it will be a change, either right hand side or either left hand side. So that we called a align attribute. Next, that we go for attribute, that is the so now any query in image tag with that attribute, where we see five different attributes: width, height, border, edge space, v space and align. These are the six different attributes with associate with image tag. Again I repeat, any query, otherwise we move to next tag. At least provided the answer either yes or either no. Okay, just one student. Now I get the response. No query, no sir. Good, clear. Good student. So let's we move to another take. So let's we continue with our next take. Just 1 minute, student. uh, Now the next tag that is for the list tag. Now in a list tag where we have two category, the one that we call unordered list and next that we called a order list. So now first of all we go for the that difference. What is the meaning of order list and what is the meaning of unordered list? So now you can see the output of order list where you see the sequence number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to as per your input. And if you go for the unordered list where you can see the output, it's represent as a disk. So that is the difference between order list and unordered list. Let's we first go for the unordered list. So now the starting tag that is a UL, meaning of UL that we call unordered list. Then inside the you have write down LI tag. Now the meaning of LI tag, list of item where you have to represent. So LI that is a list of item. Like I have write down roll number 1, 2, 3, 4. And then again it's a required to closing of the UL tag. So that is the output where you can get for the UL tag. So let's first of all we go for that output how it's look like. So now you can see the output. It's represent a UL tag, so where you can get roll number 1, roll number 2, 3, 4 that a continue sequence. So that is the way where you can see the output of a UL tag and meaning of the UL that we called a unordered list where you can see the list of the item LI tag. Now in a UL tag, we have one attribute that we called a type. So where you can see the type equal to, we have three options. One disk, second circle, and third that is the square. So you can change the type of that specific also. So let's we go for that type attribute. Now type equal to, like I have represent a circle and refresh it. So where you can see the output, it's a represent as a circle. So that is the way where you can see the UL type equal to circle. Next, that we go for the square. So let's next, that is the type, that is the square. So now you can see the output. It's represent a square where roll number 1, 2, 3. So that is the three type where you can use in a UL tag. If you not represent any type, so it's a default represent as a disk. Let's we move to next. Now as we discussed the next tag, that is the order list. So that is start from the OL. Now the meaning of OL, that is the order list. Now in this, where you have to represent the tag LI, list of item. And you can see the output, it's represent the sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to the list of your item. So let's we check for that output. So now I have pasted OL, meaning of OL, order list. So now you can clearly see the output, both a difference. One order list, it's represent as a disk, and where you can see the order list, it's represent the sequence number 1, 2, 3, 4 up to the list of item. Again, a similar way in a order list, where we have again a type attribute where you can represent the 5 different way. Like if you write down a small I, so that is represent a Roman number, sequence small letter. Then if you represent capital I, so it's a represent in capital letter Roman number. Then after like a small a, so that is a sequence of small alphabet. Then after next capital A, that is a sequence of capital letter. Then after next 1, so that we called like default 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's we check for that type attribute output. Like I write down a small I. Now you can see the output. It's a start with a small Roman number. Same way to like I have write down capital I, where you can see the output. It's represent a capital Roman letter. Same way to a small alphabet. Then after capital alphabet, that is a capital letter alphabet sequence. And if you not use any, it's represent the default sequence, that is the digit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to continue. So that is the way and method where you can represent it, the sequence number. Now any query in order list and unordered list. Thank you, student, for your response. Let's we move to our next take. Now the next take that is regarding the definition list. Now in a definition list where you have to represent a specific topic and regarding that topic descriptions. So where we have to first start the DL take, meaning of the DL that we call a definition list. Then inside the where you have to start a DT. Now the meaning of a DT, that is a definition topic, the where you have to here mention that topic. Then after we have a DD, so that is represent definitions descriptions where you have to represent in this. Then after again you have to close a DD tag, then you have to close a DT tag, like you have to represent another topic. So again you have to start DT, that topic name, then again descriptions DD, that details, that again close the DD tag, then after close a DT, and at the end you have to close a DL, a definition list. So that is the output where you can see it's a represent. So let's we check for that tag. Now you can see the output. I will start a DL definition list. In this DT definition topic, and that topic description where you can say it. Then that closing tag. Then after I start another DT tag that regarding that description. So that is the output where you have to look like that. So let's like we go for some real-time example how it's look like definitions. Like I have to represent computer definitions. So here I write down first of all computer and that descriptions. Let's we take for output. So now you can see the computer. Now it's a definition: an electronic machine that can store, find, and arrange informations, calculate amount, and control other machines. So that is the way that we called a definition list. Okay, there is one questions. DD full name. Uh, DD full name, that is a definition descriptions. For example, I have said, okay, tell me the definition of a computer, where you have to describe that a definitions. So that is the meaning of DD, definition description, and meaning of DT, definition topic. T for topic and D for that description, and meaning of DL, that is the definition list. So first of all, you have to start a DL tag, definition list. In this a DT, definition topic. In this a DD, it means a definition descriptions regarding that topic. Again you have to close DD tag, again you have to close DT, then like you have to add one more definition. So again you have to start DT and up to continue, and at the end you have to close a DL tag. Now any query? Like for example, if you represent like a good output, for example, I put a double colon and s. So now you can see it's a represent. It means after the DT tag, whatever you have, write same as it's a represent into the your web browser. Like for example, if you put here a bold for the good output or good representations, now you can see computer it's a represent into the bold. That is the method where you can easily represent your topic regarding that descriptions, and that is the top tag that we call a DL, definition list. So let's first we take the attendance and then we continue with a next topic. No one can put a message in chat box. I directly get from a student list, a participant list, and then also I shared the screen where you can also verify your number. Now I just shared the screen where you can verify your name with a P. Meaning of P, that is the present. Just verify your name with a P, and if I put A, so that is meaning of absent. If you have any query related to attendance, just put your message in chat box. Again, I repeat, just verify your name with a P, that is the meaning of present. And if I put a absent, then put a message in chat box. Now, am I audible perfectly? So let's we continue with another take. Now the next, and that is the last take, that is the table take. Now you also add a table through the HTML tag in your simple web page. Now once you add the table, at that time you have to remember 2 points. The table that is created by by row, where you have to create a table, and in a table the data that is represent left to right. Again, I repeat, in a table tag, you have to create a row by row. And in this row, the data that is represent left to right. So we go for that example. So first of all, you have to start a table tag. Now inside you have to start a tr tag. Now the meaning of tr, so that we called a table row, where you can add a specific row of the table. Now once you create a table row, then you have to add a data. So that is the tag that we call a td, table data. And whatever you have to write into the td tag, that is the represent as your output in a web page. So we try for the table. So now you can see in output to cell it's a created. Here you can see the code. I just only created one row tr, and in this I will represent a two cell 1 and cell 2. Now for example, I have created like here a next row, and in this like I will represent a third and like a fourth cell detail. So that's why I have to create one more tr tag. In this I have add two td tag. That means I have created a table with a two row. I have to start another table row tag. In this that table data, and that again that closing it's a require. So we go for that. So now you can see the output. The next row is created where the input, that is a cell 3 and cell 4. It means inside the td tag, whatever you have write, that same detail it's represent into the your web browser, and that is the we call td, table data. Now you can see without a border, it's not like a table. So we also create a border for that table. So that is you have to write with a table tag. Table. Then after a tag, that is a border, and input that we take from the pixel. So now like for example, I said border equal to 1. So it create a one border pixel. Now you can see the output. The 1 pixel size a border it will be generated. Like for example, I have said 3 pixel. So you can see it's again increase 3 pixel border. It will be created. Now we have one more attribute with a table tag, and that we called a bg color. It means also apply the color for the table. And meaning of the bg, that is a background color for the table tag. Like I have said for gray color. Now you can see the table it's filled with a gray color. Also next like I have said a green. Now you can see the table it color with a green. So that is the last slide where we get a modify the table attribute, that we see a border as well as the background color. So now any query in table tag. So that is your last slide. Thank you. Now today we completed first practical as per the GTU syllabus. I'll just like open the syllabus file so that we also discuss. So now that is your GTU syllabus file for the workshop subject. And let's we go for the computer side of practical. We have a two practical. So today we completed a first practical. Student has built a one website considering that a basic profile about his department, his own personal profile, and that institute detail also. So we learn the basic tag where you can add image, where you can represent your department name, that detail, your personal detail, your college name, and that all essential tag that we complete today. Now in the next lab where we learn different OS, one that is a Windows and second that we go for a Ubuntu, so where we can see that a basic command through that a terminal or we call a command prompt. So in the next practical, just we require the one lab sessions and then we completed our computer department to practical. And then after you have to move into the electrical faculty where it's teach by that electrical practicals. So now again I repeat, any query from practical 1. And now the one announcement for 2 day ago as well as the Saturday, I have shared one message in a WhatsApp group where you have to join a Google Classroom. It is the essential you have to join with Institute email ID. In this, we have shared a lab manual as well as the multi-L also. And if you already joined, then you have to ignore it. But if you not join, please join end of the day Google Classroom for the workshop subject. And link that already provided in WhatsApp group. Now there is a one question from yes, sir, practical PPT send cursor Google Classroom. Yes, I also uploaded that a PPT in a Google Classroom once the all student is joined. And already 1 week ago, I have uploaded that PPT in a e-content also, where you can easily download from that. I hope yes, you get the answer. Now, any other student have any queries? Sir, my Google Classroom not opening with email ID. Fanil, just check with your institute email ID and password. First of all, you have to log in with a Gmail institute email ID. Then you have to open it. And if you face any issue, you can send me the message in WhatsApp personally. So now, thank you, student. You can leave the meeting and I already take the attendance. There is a question from Pankaj. Sir, I have not institute email ID. Pankaj, if you are a new join student within a 2 to 3 day, so it's take a 2 to 3 day time to create institute email ID, and where you have to log in with a institute website where you can get one pop-up menu where you get your institute email ID as well as the default password. Again, I repeat, the institute email ID is not showing in MU Android application. If you know your email ID, you have to log in with a website through, then and then you get that details. Yes. Tell me the questions. Okay, yes, you have message. If you have any question, you can message me that we discuss in WhatsApp. Sir, Google Classroom application download करने पे login कर सकते हैं. Yes, you can download the Google Classroom application, then you can log in it. Yes, correct. Yes, you can do that also. Again, thank you, student. If you have any query, you can put me message in WhatsApp.